Here doing another video yet again. Now listen, now for those of you all that don't know, I am a Vedic astrologer. I studied in tropical astrology first, but now I'm in Vedic astrology, and I study Vedic astrology with some tropical, you know what I'm talking about, placements or like asteroids, and I just bring them up to kind of the more Vedic or sidereal calculations. So now today I have a video presentation for y'all about dictators in the 20th century, right? And we finna be looking at a commonality between all of them and saying what the hell all of them did to make them even end up on this list, right? So I found a list on Google or some shit like that. I was like the most violent or most evil men in history, and it took me to the 20th century, and everybody on my list was on that list, right? And y'all listen, the people on this list, they ain't nothing to play with. And I want y'all all to understand that when it comes to violence, it's a lot of it's going to be Mars and Saturn mixed together, right? And you see what I have right here: dictators of the 20th century. Most violent leaders in the 20th century have either Aries placements or a strong Saturn placement. And Saturn rules endings and authority, and Mars rules violence and war. Another thing Saturn also rules too, excuse me, is death as well. Real shit, you put Mars and Saturn together in the wrong aspect, man. Listen, you gonna make the motherfuckers that's on this list today. So now we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. So now listen, I also do birth chart readings. Listen, I'm gonna leave my social medias at the bottom or whatever, and I do birth chart readings. All my prices are amazing. I have over 200 reviews. But now let's go and get into it. So now dictators of the 20th century, most violent leaders in the 20th century have either Aries placements or strong Saturn placement, right? So we already kind of got that out the way. Saturn rule end is authority, Mars rule war, violence, all that shit, right? And so essentially Mars rules what? Weapons, y'all. Mars rules missiles. It rules anything that you can make sharp, anything that can be used to kill or hurt. That's Mars. Always understand that shit. So the primary components of what you see the military operating made off of, that's very Martian Mars energy, real shit. So now let's take a look. So now let's look at this. So this is from an AI overview. Let's just get a quick understanding about what Mars is in and of itself, right? From Vedic astrology. So AI overview, effects of Mars, benefic or malefic. Now, benefic means beneficial, malefic means kind of more challenging in a hardship perspective, right? In Vedic astrology, Mars, also known as Mongol, it means a fiery planet that represents strength, passion, and conflict. It's associated with leadership, ambition, physical prowess, characteristics. Mars is a masculine planet. It's often associated with the color red. I was born on Tuesday. That's also the day of Mars too, y'all. That's why I be looking so cool and shit. Which symbolizes passion, blood, and romance. It's also associated with the color orange, which does what? That shit says embodies Mars' passion, courage, and drive, right? So now Mars placements, right? This is my own little emoji too. Don't try to steal this copyright. A well placed Mars can make a person proactive, dynamic, and courageous. Now, pay attention. A poorly placed Mars may lead to impulsiveness, anger, or rash decisions. Do y'all understand what that shit mean? You mean you get out here and start tearing some shit up? Hard headed motherfucker, reckless, violent, uncontrollable, untamable. Mars owns the sign Aries and Scorpio. This is Vedic. It's not tropical. Y'all gonna be like, no, Pluto does. Pluto only rules over Scorpio in y'all new age tropical Western astrology shit. That ruler for y'all it does. But for Vedic astrology, no. The ancient traditional rulers still have the primary prominence. So all that I don't agree, you don't gotta agree because your school of thought says something different. And this more ancienter school of thought says something that's completely different, right? And it's still sticking to the actual roots. Another thing, find the actual doctrine that states Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus rule over any zodiac sign outside of people saying we think it should. Now, find the actual text explaining exactly why, and ask why don't those planets have a day of the week? Start really doing critical thinking because in Vedic astrology we have ancient texts for everything that we say. Like the North Node is a co-ruler of Aquarius, and the South Node is a co-ruler over Scorpio, and they call Rahu and Ketu. You in tropical, you're gonna be like, no, it's not. Yes, in tropical it's not, but in Vedic astrology it is. Now, Mars influence. Mars is believed to influence one's ability to take new initiatives, face challenges, and overcome obstacles. Real shit. Understanding Mars influence can provide insights into one's energy drive and how they handle conflict, right? Mars is notable people. Many athletes, soldiers, and leaders have well-placed Mars. So now let's look at some of these leaders. First up, we got Adolf Hitler, born April 20th, 1889 in Brno am Inn, right? After whatever the hell. Y'all know what Adolf Hitler did. This is his Vedic astrological birth chart. Why do I choose Vedic? Vedic is more astronomically correct. I even proved it on my Facebooks lives with live constellation tracker mapping. Real shit. So a lot of times tropical, I'm gonna give you a prime example. The sun's control over the months, right? So when the sun goes, so like over here, I think Leo season starts July 21st, right, or whatever. But the sun doesn't even go into Leo until damn near the middle of August, right? That's when the sun is actually in the constellation of Leo, right? So a lot of tropical astrology people, y'all don't really understand the precession of equinoxes and how the earth is wobbling and moving away from the center point where everything is calculated. But this ain't the lie for that. But yes, Vedic astrology is more astronomically accurate. So look at Hitler's chart, right? So listen, he's already a fire everywhere. He's already a fire moon sign. But look at this shit. I want y'all to know all these dictators, except for like one, got Aries placements, all of them, literally. And most Capricorn or Aquarius placements, which is ruled by Saturn in Vedic astrology. So now Adolf Hitler has Mercury, Sun, Mars, and Venus inside of what? Aries. He has a stellium, right? That's when three or more planets are sitting together in one sign. So his actions, Mars, his value system, Venus, his soul, the sun, and his communication and thinking capabilities, Mercury, are all sitting inside of Aries. Now, let's look at what did Adolf Hitler do. Adolf Hitler, 1889 through 1945, is unquestionably the central figure in the story of the Holocaust. It was the combination of his virulent hate of Jews and his success in creating a political movement that was able to seize control of Germany that made the campaign to exterminate the Jews possible. So y'all know Adolf Hitler, he made sure he didn't kill millions of people, even people that don't got shit to do with whatever the hell is going on with what he think. See, the thing about it is when you start murdering kids and people who just ain't got nothing to do with it, it's just kind of like you just on some evil, sick, weird shit, right? Because if anything, if you're gonna capture the territory, then just capture all the motherfuckers and indoctrinate them motherfuckers into your ranks. Then a person will say a person will say some shit like this. He got to worry about them betraying him. You got to worry about your own people betraying you. So it really don't matter. But you gotta look at a person's mind. You could have did something differently, but you chose to just murder any and everybody. Concentration camps. And then this is what happens when you see, Mars is a very passionate energy. That's why it's able to lead. Because Mars mean what it say. And Mars gonna go do what the hell that it say it's gonna do, right? And that's what people look to follow a leader. They're like, okay, this person's speaking strong, speaking boldly, and they backing up what the hell they saying. That's why people kind of go just follow them blindly sometimes. That shit is scary, but that shit is true nonetheless. And just because it's scary, you don't want to accept and understand it, don't mean that that shit is not still real. Everybody on this list is a mass murderer. Everybody on this list is a mass murderer, and that's why I have they Vedic birth charts pulled up so you can see the similarities. I'm not capping. You really want to be a real killer, you got to have some of these placements, because these ain't no I just shot one or two or three people. No, these people are like I am murdering a whole country and civilization. If they do not listen to me, everybody will get murdered. These combinations will really make you do that shit. Now, before we go to our next people, let me go down to make some more what you call it. Now, listen, y'all might not know Vedic astrology. This is Mira Gashira, right? It's within a Taurus. It's between Taurus and Gemini, I believe, right? So from 23 degrees in Taurus to so from 23 degrees 20 minutes Taurus to 6 minutes and 40 degrees in Gemini, right? This portion of look, it's ruled by Mars. It's ruled by Mars. So anybody got planets in these degrees, which some of them do, they are still influenced by a Martian energy. Same up here, Chitra degree in Vedic astrology, 23 degrees, 20 minutes Virgo to 6 degrees, 40 minutes in Libra. Boom. And then look, last one, the Nishta, 23 degrees. Y'all kind of get the gist. Now let me scroll here back up. Let's scroll back up. Okay. Let's scroll back up. Okay, yeah, right here. So now let's go to the next one. Y'all know who this is? This is Oppenheimer. His movie came out last year. This is Oppenheimer. For those who like, what did he do? J. Robert Oppenheimer is a theoretical physicist who led the Manhattan Project to develop the atomic bomb during World War II. He is known as the father of the atomic bomb. Do y'all understand what the hell that is? One atomic bomb can kill a whole city, no matter where you at on Earth. Everybody in that motherfucking city will be destroyed. Look who made it. Look at him. His soul is in Aries, Mars, his action. So, and then listen, Mercury. So, what does that tell me? So, normally when Mars and Mercury come together in a horoscope, you got to remember that's going to give a person a lot of technical, detail oriented like energy, right? On top of this, he got his Rahu or North Node in Virgo. And then listen, Mercury. So, remember, for those y'all don't know, Rahu in Vedic astrology kind of rules over like a lot of science things, really like a lot of new technological innovations shit, right? His Rahu, the portion of his life he's supposed to experience now was Virgo, right? But look what Mercury is at. Mercury rule Virgo. Mercury sitting with Mars and the Sun inside of Aries. He not playing. On top of what? He got Saturn and Chiron inside of Capricorn. He made the nuclear. Do y'all know how serious that shit really is in and of itself? He made the nuclear bomb. That shit ain't nothing to scoff at, but nothing because guess what? I mean, the atom bomb. Now they got a lot of them everywhere, ready to wipe a whole city out like that. This is what I'm saying, y'all. This Mars and Saturn energy. Listen, no, that shit coming together. It's really about destroying some shit. Seriously, look at this shit. Directed the Los Alamos Laboratory, the top secret site for developing the atomic bomb, led the research and design of the world's first atomic weapon, served as a man. Listen, he wasn't playing. Let's scroll down. Joseph Stalin or Stalin, however the hell you say his name. Look at his placements. Let's read about it first, then we'll go back. So Stalin promotes himself the dictator. Wow. He said, you know what? I'm just finna run some shit in. Y'all understand. Many in the party expect Red Army leader Leon, whatever his name, to be Lenin's natural successor, but his ideas are too idealistic for the majority of the Communist Party. Stalin, however, have I said, correct me if I'm wrong, developed his own nationalistic brand of Marxism, socialism in one country, concentrating on strengthening the Soviet Union rather than the world revolution. So he said, man, listen, I'm not trying to bring us to peace. I'm trying to make sure that my team's strong in the motherfucker to wipe anybody ass out. Real shit. So listen, he became a dictator. Real shit. Listen, what did he do? He caused collectivization causes mass famines. When Stalin takes power, Soviet agriculture is still dominated by small landowners and blighted by famine and inefficiency. Stalin modernizes agriculture by instigating collectivization. The grouping together of farms to be owned by the state. It is opposed by millions of ordinary farmers who resort to killing livestock and secretly hoarding grain. Around 5 million died in a series of famines. Nevertheless, Stalin believes the ends justify the means, and millions of smallholders are killed or imprisoned. Do y'all see that shit? Man, listen, now what kind of placement he got? He up here taking food, murdering shit, being a dictator. Man, what the hell wrong with Stalin there? Look, Moon in Aries, Neptune in Aries, Chiron is in Aries. Chiron in Aries. Look, his Mars is in Libra, so he thought he was doing the right shit. And then listen, his soul and Venus is in Scorpio. So he a Mars-minded person and a Mars valuing and solar-based energy type of person. On top of him having them Capricorn placements, man, I be trying to tell y'all. I be trying to tell y'all that Saturn and Mars gonna get you every time. So you gotta remember these. What does it show you? They're able to commit these such atrocities. You want to know why? Because people follow power. That's a harsh pill for a lot of motherfuckers to swallow, but it's the truth. People follow power, good or bad. If you strong enough to take, people strong enough to follow and listen. Now, Benito Mussolini, y'all are he already getting on my nerves. Benito Mussolini utilized political violence primarily through his paramilitary group known as the Black Shirts to intimidate and suppress opposition, particularly socialists and communists, during his rise to power in Italy, often engaging in violent attacks, beatings, and property destruction to establish his fascist regimen. His most notable violent act was the March on Rome, where he threatened to forcefully take control of the government if his demands were not met, ultimately leading to his appointment as the prime minister. They just really kind of take what the fuck they want. And look, his past life comfortability and instinctual nature is in Aries. Now, look at this. Right in this little portion, right? Right in this little portion, right? He got his moon and Mars together, right? So listen, so his instinct or past life energies are in Aries, but Mars controls Aries. Mars is now sitting with his mind. So his instinctual nature is literally getting from the past life, which is that South Node of K2, going into that Aries energy, but that Mars energy is getting affected by it, and it's having a big role on his goddamn psyche. Tell y'all. These people don't be playing. They for real. Look at him. Idi Amin, right? Idi Amin. Let's look what he did from humble beginnings. Idi Amin built a powerful dictatorship in Uganda. He was expert at deploying military forces to achieve political power. A lesson he first learned from the British as a soldier in the colonial army. Through a combination of populist charm and brutal violence, backed up by a vast police state, he ruled Uganda for 8 years until his tragic blunders brought him down. Y'all understand that shit? Amin perhaps was most notorious for his violence and brutality. As dictator, he used secret police to reform Uganda into a police state. In the first year alone, an estimated 10,000 people were murdered by the regime. Y'all heard that shit? Countless others were imprisoned and tortured. What does he get? Oh, Capricorn placement. Oh, his Mercury and Chiron in Aries. Oh shit. Y'all better listen. And look, oh no, his moon in Pisces. But look, see his moon with a rebellious, his moon with Uranus. Oh hell no. I'm telling y'all, just notice the pattern. Pol Pot. What did he do? Oh, Cambodian genocide, systematic murder of 3 million people in Cambodia from 1976 to 1978. In just 2 years, he made sure almost 3 million people was killed under the government under him. Look at him. Mercury and Chiron inside of what? Aries. Another what? Capricorn placement. Man, I'm trying to tell y'all. That's man. And notice he take a combination of shit. It's not all just one thing. Look at him. Who is this? Okay, Muammar Gaddafi. This included extrajudicial killings, public executions, ethnic cleansing, and torture of civilians. During the Libyan war in 2011, Gaddafi's forces killed allegedly unarmed protesters and indiscriminately bombed civilian areas. Well, god damn. Man, he was crazy as hell. Look, his Venus in Aries, look. His K2 inside of Aquarius, which is ruled by Saturn in Vedic, not tropical, y'all. Claim it's Uranus. But look at this. Remember that portion of Taurus, 23 degrees Taurus to 6 degrees Gemini? Look at all that shit. Look at all that shit right there. Man, listen, I don't know why I got this right here. Look at all that right there. Man, listen. Jupiter there, Mercury there, man, y'all better stop playing. These people. Now who? Mao Zedong. What did he do? Mao was considered one of the most significant figures in the 20th century. His policies were responsible for a vast numbers of death, which estimates ranging from 40 to 80 million victims of starvation, persecution, prison labor, and mass executions. And his regime has been described as totalitarian. Man, look at this shit. Jupiter in Aries. Look at that portion of Virgo I showed y'all in the beginning video. From I believe 23 degrees, 20 minutes Virgo through 6 degrees, 40 minutes Libra. I believe that's what it was. Look at this shit. K2 Saturn. Look, his Mars and Mercury in Scorpio, which is ruled by Mars. He got Mars in the Mars signs, right? Then look at this shit. Look at that shit. He got what? Venus in Capricorn. Man, these people ain't shit to play with. Y'all should know him, Fidel Castro. What did Fidel Castro do? An estimated 14,000 Cubans were killed in Fidel's revolutionary adventures abroad. Most noticeably, his dispatch of 50,000 soldiers to Angola in the 1980s to help the Soviet-backed regime fight off the UNITA, have you said, insurgency. Look at this shit. Mars, Chiron, Aries. Look at this shit. Jupiter inside the Capricorn. Look at this shit. His moon's right there at it's right there at the green margin. Real talk. Man, y'all better stop playing. These people ain't no joke with all this shit. Saddam Hussein, if you American, you better know who the fuck that is, 'cause they talk about him so damn much. We was Saddam Hussein. He got a lot of shit too. Look at this shit. Look at him. He got his sun with Uranus. That's a very bad energy. I got that shit too, but I got the opposite though. Kind of like my son right here in Uranus, opposite sign, looking at each other. Yeah, yeah. What did it say? Um, what did it say? Yeah, yeah. So look, at that certain degree of Taurus, look, K2 or South Node and what? Chiron. Look at his moon. Oh my God, his moon with Rahu and is with Mars. This a violent person. Because in Vedic astrology, we call that being hemmed by malefics, right? Moon is a soft planet, right? It's sitting with Rahu and Mars. So you gotta remember, Rahu or the North Node let me just call it Rahu. It can cloud your judgment and your perception. Real shit, and it's mixed with Mars. So he think he need to carry that violence sometimes unnecessarily. Jupiter and Capricorn, all that shit. What did he do? Saddam Hussein, the president of Iraq from 1979 to 2003, gained international notoriety for torturing and murdering thousands of his people. Hussein believed he ruled with an iron fist to keep his country divided by ethnicity and region intact. However, his actions bespeak a tyrannical despot, who stopped at nothing to punish those who opposed. These people ain't playing with y'all. Robert Mugabe. Look at him. Moon and Aries. Look. Sun. Mercury, Capricorn. Look. Mars, Jupiter, Virgo. Man, come on now. What did he do? Zimbabwe, having dominated Zimbabwe's politics for nearly 4 decades, Mugabe was a controversial figure. He was praised as a revolutionary hero of the African liberation struggle, who helped free Zimbabwe from British colonialism, imperialism, and white minority rule. You know what that means? He was out there making sure y'all couldn't take over his country. So now they call him crazy, but he probably did some crazy shit after people doing crazy shit. Yeah. But they call him a dictator too. Some of them say he was a hero, some of them say he was a dictator nonetheless. Real shit. Who is this? This the last person on the list. Look, Juan Domingo Perron. I think that's how you say their name. Look, Saturn placement, Rahu right there, but look, his Mars is literally in that degree portion of that Virgo and Libra axis that's ruled by Mars. What did he do? Although they are still controversial figures, Juan and Eva Perón are nonetheless considered icons by the Peronists. The Perons followers praised their efforts to eliminate poverty and digging labor, while their detractors considered them demagogues, and dictators. You can go look up on the story of them. All of them were on this actual list, real talk. All of them were on this actual list. I'm telling y'all. Y'all see, y'all, Mars, that shit ain't shit to play with. You play, look, and this is where I got it from. This the website, Fairchild Heavy, what you call it? Yeah. I being the most evil man from the 20th century. It should be there, the website pop up. Yeah, y'all, so listen. You cannot never underestimate even people in your real life to get these placements. So they can be more prone to doing some of this shit. Maybe not on a big scale, but it's definitely possible for them to really turn up. They got, because you got to remember, when you have an oversaturation of these violent, killing, murderous type of energies, y'all, listen, you might exhibit some of the real characteristic traits in life, real shit. So yeah, y'all, I just want to go live. I mean, not live. I just wanted to put this up for y'all, see this shit, and let me put my what you call so y'all can know. Y'all can follow me on pick oh, you know what? The link will just be in the damn description. It'll be in the damn description. But yes, y'all. So now that everybody understand that Mars ain't shit to play with, Saturn ain't shit to play with, don't go out there fucking with them people. But other than that, though, I just want to wrap it up. So now, listen, if y'all want y'all birth chart and shit read, make sure y'all hit me up, DM me on my social media platforms. The link will be in the actual description, okay? But other than that, y'all have a good rest of whatever the hell y'all finna do. Holla at y'all later.